Keenan Shanholz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty, and today we're in Springfield, West Virginia, and we're looking at lot number 9 of Shadow Knolls. This tract is 20.6 acres, and few things about it here. So this is called Caribou Drive right here. That's the road that it's accessed off of, but this lot actually goes from road to road. There's 2 roads in Shadow Knolls. There's Caribou Drive and Brockett Drive. Caribou's the lower road, Brockett is the upper road, and this lot actually goes from road to road. Now, a little bit about Shadow Knolls. Shadow Knolls has been around here since about 2001, 2002. That's when they developed this. It's 800 acres, and I think there's about 25 lots or so in here. All the lots are 20 plus acres. Some of them are really big, 20's the smallest. Shadow Knolls is pretty low key. I mean, as you can see, the roads are kind of just like dirt roads in here. But the HOA dues in here are only $225 a year. Minimal restrictions. Pretty live and let live in here. But where I'm at, I'm less than a half a mile, I'm about 4/10 of a mile off Springfield Pike, which is this way. So you're less than a half mile off the paved road. You're within, 5 miles of 3 different public access points on the south branch of the Potomac River. And you're about 3 miles from Whitehorse Mountain Wildlife Management Area, which is 1,765 acres of public hunting. But just to show you what we got going on here. So I was down here and scoped this lot out a little bit yesterday, and I was kind of running short on time. But you see there's a road going in right here. It's kind of like a driveway. It's not really wide. I might try to get my truck up in there. I don't know if I'm going to attempt that or not, because it really needs a culvert. It needs a culvert right here at the road. But I walked up that trail a good ways and kind of stopped, and I'm not so sure it doesn't go from end to end on the property. If it does, that is huge. But just having any kind of like access where you can get onto the lot is fantastic. As you can see, there's electricity here, so that's great. The lot's been perked. You probably pull off this electric pole back here to where you'd put something at. But let me show you what this thing looks like on paper. That is a terrible, terrible angle with the way the sun is. So, looking at the lot, I'm about right here. And this trail kind of goes in, as you can see, this a big ridge in here. I mean, if you don't know how to read a topo map, the more spaced out the lines are, the better it lays. So a huge, huge chunk of this property lays very, very, very nice. And it is a huge ridge that it follows through here. And then this is Brockett Drive up here, and you got a ridge coming down and a hollow going up like this. And we're going to find out if this trail here goes all the way. But I'm thinking that trail is probably going to go all the way through the property, or pretty darn close. It's a funky shape, but it works because you got all this width in here in this part to where you're never going to see a neighbor the way this lot's laid off. And this little hollow over here, kind of like where it starts, really pretty in that hollow. And you can see there's a little wet weather drainage right in there. Same with down here on this other end. So you kind of got a hollow on both sides of the front here with just, a little seasonal drainage in it or whatever. But this lot lays nice, covered in hardwoods, and very reasonable price. Let's get started. We'll go up in here and look around. Keenan Shanholz here again, 9 Shadow Knolls. I didn't make it very far here, but I just want to point out a few things. So I'm standing on the little road that's on the property. As you can see, my truck's right there. And what I want to show you here is there's a ancient junk pile, small junk pile, like right where you pull in here. This property used to be owned by Westvaco, which is a timber company, before it was subdivided into Shadow Knolls. So you'd have your yahoos every now and then come up and throw out some garbage, but it's just some glass bottles. It's stuff that looks like it's been here. It just takes up a very small area right in here. It's mostly glass or whatever. you know, that's been here for 40 or 50 years, probably the way it looks. But that's about the only thing I've seen, you know, when I walked around on the property yesterday. But I did want to point that out. But as you can see here, you know, the little driveway comes in, curls right around the bend here. And the previous owner had, you could see where they had a little campsite right here. The gentleman who owns this property now, you know, purchased this at a tax sale about 4 years ago. So if you don't pay your taxes and they give you plenty of time to pay them, they'll sell your property. So that's how this property was acquired. What you see is what you get. You get a nice chair here and a little fire pit. You know, but you could tell there's a little campsite that was set up here at one time. But this trail, excuse me, pollen's bad today. So I'm walking right on this trail here that I'm thinking is running, and I'm hoping is running from end to end on this property. But look at this. Just follows the crown of this ridge all the way through here. I'll show you, right here's the perk hole. So when they sold these lots, like in 02, they had to perk them. And where you see all that dirt mounded up right there, that's where the perk test was done. And now here, you're really gonna have to see this with the leaves off, but I think you're gonna have a really, really big time view to the west off of this lot if you cut some trees. But what I do wanna show you is, looking back this way, that's Whitehorse Mountain there. That's the public hunting ground that you see through there. And the electric pole is probably 70 feet from me right now, so you would pull off that electric pole. I mean, super short pull for the electricity if you wanted to, you know, to build here or just set up, you know, for like a camp or whatever, put your camper here. The electric is super close, and that is a big deal. Because when you're putting electricity in for a camper, you don't get any freebies. So you're paying the full way. So when it's close for camper purposes, that's a big deal. But you got, I mean, there's a nice spot right in here. If you want to look back to the north this way, I mean, this is a slam dunk spot right here. But there you can see, you know, when they do a perk test, they dig a 6-foot hole with a backhoe. The guy from the health department comes and looks at it, you know, and they just a lot of times don't cover it back up. But you'll see a stake there, fence stake there, which is where they mark that when they surveyed them. So, but let me get you up through here a little bit. I mean, this is just easy treading. I mean, you can see big hardwoods in here everywhere. Very nice topography. I want to walk you up here to the gap where this first hollow goes down, because I think that's where, and this is the path right here. I mean, it's definitely wide enough for me to get my pickup up in here. Now, if you want to get a camper or something up in here, you know, you're gonna have to get somebody in here to put a culvert in and widen the road a little bit and make you like a pad. The bugs are bad today. Getting warm out. So, I mean, you can see how wide this is. Just look out through there. I mean, this lays great. But I'm thinking that if you get like right in here somewhere and you're kind of looking down this hollow, you're going to get a big view to the west. That'd be looking pretty well due west. But you know, oh yeah, maybe about right in here somewhere. It's hard with the leaves on, you know, but just take note of how good all this lays. Clean forest floor. You don't see no brush or no garbage, you know, on the floor of the forest. Open woods. Excellent hunting in here. Deer, bear, turkey. I'll walk up this path a little further and we'll shoot another video. Keenan Shanholtz here again, 9 shot of Knolls. I just want to stop here and show you exactly where we're at on the property. So, I started about right here. We've walked up this trail on this ridge, and we're to about right here where it says 1,100 feet. And the path's still good. You see there's a bigger dead tree across it. So far, if I kicked all the dead stuff out of this road, I could get my truck up here. But I want to show you. So I'm going to zoom in down there. If you see the dirt road down there, that's Caribou Drive. And in that turn is where your corner is along Caribou Drive, your first corner. But just look how you own a good bit of that hollow down in there going up through there like that. I mean, that hollow holds about part of that hollow all the way. So that, I mean, just look how gentle that is. And then look over here on this side. Very, very, very nice, easy topo. As you can see, looking back down that way, I mean, this is easy. It's about almost 80 degrees out here today and I ain't broke a sweat yet. Keenan Shanholtz here again, 9 shot of Knolls. So, I've walked right up the path that goes right up the ridge, and this is where I'm at. I am right here on the 1,100 foot line, right here that you see. Or is that, that's still 1,100 foot. But that's where I'm at. So I got another 100 foot climb, and so far so good. Trail's still on here. And just look at the beautiful trees. Trail's going right up through here. Still got part of the hollow over there to my left. I'm a little bit closer to this side of the property right now. And we'll stop when I get to the top. Keenan Shanholtz here again, shot of Knolls, and I made it. Middle-aged, out of shape man, walked all the way up through this property and I'm fine. I'm feeling good. And I'll show you where we're at. We are right here. So that trail stays on the property the whole way, right, and it comes right out at the top corner up here on Brockett Drive, which is where I'm at. I'm gonna show you how to tell where you're at. You see the neighbor's driveway and the gate right there? Green metal roof. Electric pole across the road. And if you see that metal T-post right there, that's your corner on Brockett Drive. So this is what Brockett looks like up here. And I can tell you, I could get down over this bank here with my truck. You know, it wouldn't hurt. This thing needs a little work on this end and on the end down there on Caribou to make it sloped a little bit better. I'd have to cut a limb here or there and throw all this dead crap out of the way, the dead stuff that's falling in the path. But that's not easy to do, to buy 20 acres of mountain ground in West Virginia and be able to drive a truck from end to end. But you can do it on this one. Right here's the path, right in front of me. Now I'll tell you, if you really wanted a view, it don't do you much good up here to build or whatever unless you wanted to look to the north, because the property line is just to the left here of the path that I'm walking down. And so you wouldn't have, it's a shame that you didn't have more of this, because you could build here and have a hell of a view. But the property line's too close. I mean, if you wanted to look back to the north, but you don't have a whole ton of room to work up here, you know, on the top side off of Brockett. But I want to try to show you where I saw the trees are marked and everything. This thing's surveyed good. I didn't have any problem finding the lines, and everything's where it's supposed to be. I just wanted to try to give you an idea how far the line was off the path. I mean, it's not much. Maybe 15 foot, something like that. But let me turn around and look backwards. You can see the path going right up there to Brockett. So, hope you enjoyed the tour. This is a really quality piece of ground. I mean, for under $100,000, there is no way in the world you could expect more than this. This lot will sell fast. Like I said, Shadow Knolls is not a fancy development or anything like that. No electronic gates. The roads are just dirt, but it's close. You know, like I said, you're only, would you rather drive, you know, 4/10 of a mile on kind of a dirt road or whatever, or drive, you know, 5 or 6 miles back a gravel road to get to somewhere? Because those are that's usually what it is. So to have this much privacy and this much convenience, you could be in Springfield at, you know, Springfield's got a little market, a Dollar General, and, you know, gun store, gas station, you know, that sort of thing. You know, you're less than 10 minutes from Springfield right here, 15 minutes from Fort Ashby, West Virginia, you know, 15 minutes from Romney. You know, you're out here, but you're not that far out here. So, Lot 9, Shadow Knolls, 99.9, 20.6 acres. Come get it. Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. I just wanted to do a little clip here for 9 Shadow Knolls. I'm here along Springfield Pike, which is what you turn off of to get into Shadow Knolls. And I'm here at the Maple Landing public access to the South Branch of Potomac River. And I'll probably put these clips here at the end of the video. But as I look right up through there on the mountain, just about right through there is where Lot 9 is. So from here to there is about maybe 3 miles at the most. And this actually isn't the closest public river access. A half a mile this way is Millicent's Bridge, which is another public access. So that's actually closer to the property. But you can put in here and it's about a 2.5 mile float around to the bridge. And then from the bridge down to Blue Ford's about 5 miles. But also here where I'm at, I want to point out, right up on top of this mountain up here is Whitehorse Mountain, which is 1,600 acres of public hunting. And just a half mile back towards Springfield this way is where you access that from. So there's 2 public river accesses and access to Whitehorse Mountain, you know, all within, you know, 3 to 5 miles of Lot 9. But this access here, it's not a great access or anything because you got to drag your canoes and stuff down over the rocks or whatever. The one at the bridge is much nicer, and I'll do a little shot there, but I don't think I can stop on the bridge because of traffic to show you the river better from there. But just wanted to point this out. I mean, it's just nice having all this stuff at your fingertips so close to the property. Keenan Shanholtz here again for Lot 9, Shadow Knolls. I just wanted to show you the public access down here at Millicent's Bridge. This is only maybe 2.5 miles at most from the property. And unlike Maple Landing, where I took that first clip, you got a big parking area here and a ramp to get right down in the river here, you know. So just want to show you this here real quick. I mean, you know, the property's going to be right up on the mountain behind us this way. But just want to show you this real quick. It's always good to know what's around you and how close stuff is. But this is a nice put in here. River's big and wide here. Let's look at that. There's where their old bridge used to be that got washed out in the flood of '85. Then we got the new bridge. But, and you know, Whitehorse is up there. So, so many outdoor activities. I mean, so close to the property.